fireflies, that the reality of abuse seemed to slip away. Perhaps this was my childhood encounter with numinous and with kairos time, as they say, but chasing fireflies and radiance became a lifetime metaphor of sorts for me, my little fable about the worth of the eternal child who, in her inherent belief in spirit, could continuously tap into some greater truth. And once again, beauty.
Wow. Erica, that is such a powerful story, and you are so eloquent, especially when you're describing at the end the chasing fireflies. I'm right there with you. And, you know, the thing that I find so sad, I live in Texas, and when I was a child, fireflies came out every night in the summer. There no longer are fireflies in Texas.
Oh, no.
No, but they're all gone.
Oh, no.
They're gone. And that whole magic of those summer nights with those magical little creatures flying around, I mean, you just instantly brought that back into my imagination. Thank you for doing that. That was absolutely lovely. You really have such a way with words.
Oh, thank you so much.
Was this cathartic?
Story.
Was this cathartic for you to write this? Did it help to put it down?
You know, this is so interesting, this question. I think it has been extraordinarily cathartic, but it's not like once I started writing this book, I was still trying to figure things out, though of course I learned, you know, when you write, you inevitably learn. I think I have spent a lifetime working out and philosophizing, and it was cathartic to some degree, but I've got to tell you, I really felt more like my muse led the way, and I was able to just sit back in coalescence somehow and let it write itself. There was always a point of contact, if you know what I mean. I mean, it wasn't inner dialoguing. It was really more about writing for the reader. Right. This book is my story, but as the press release said, I'm able to use it as a container to weave spiritual oversight and really make contact with the reader. This was what was always most important to me, and I think that's the worth of story. I think it's one of the reasons why we love to go to the movies. We need each other. We need to feel each other's vulnerability. We need to feel a protagonist overcome. We need to get outside of ourselves in a way and really intimately connect with the story and the story's protagonist, almost to learn how to live ourselves, if that makes any sense at all. Because, you know, socially, it's hard to make that intimate, vulnerable contact. But I think we learn more from each other than we do from a book of rules.
Me too.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Who did you write this for? When you were writing, did you have anyone in mind as an audience for the book?
Yeah. How do I explain this? I did always have the world in mind.
I love it.
I mean, that may sound wild and over the top, but honestly, I do think of the world. I do want to be an agent of change, and I have much to say. We all do, but it really was the world. A specific person? Oh well, my son, and perhaps anyone who who was generous enough to open my book and take a gander. Anyone who would receive me. But I do think in those terms. I do think mythically. I do think pretty big as well as personally.
I agree. I like what you just said. I really like that, who would open the book and permit you in. Really, that's what it is. When you open a book as personal as this, it's permitting you in. And you and I both know that there are people who have experienced some of the same kinds of things you talk about in the book.
Yes.
And the idea that you've written about that and that you've pushed forward and that you've done so many wonderful things, I think is just a testimony to your strength of character and to you as a person.
Well, thank you. I certainly hope that somehow we can all kind of step up and feel our worth in the world.
Yeah.
And understand that indeed we are here for a reason. We're here to move each other. We're here to learn from each other, but we are also here to inspire each other.
Well, I think you're inspiring people right now. Let's tell them where they can find the book. It's at the obvious place. It's on Amazon. And if there's anyone out there who has never gone to Amazon for any reason, it's very simple. All you do is put in the www.amazon.com and click on it. And when you do that, it takes you right to the home page for Amazon. And I remember the first time I did that, I was overwhelmed by all the stuff that's there on that home page. What you're looking for is a long rectangular box that's empty. And in that box, you want to type the following. The title of Erica's book is Chasing, Chasing, Radiance, Radiance, Memoirs, Memoirs, and Musings. Now let me spell Erica's name for you. By Erica, Erica, Sarzin, Sarzin, Borrillo, Borrillo. And I suspect if you just get Chasing Radiance by Erica Sarzin-Borrillo in that search feature, it'll come right up. That's what happened for me when I looked for it on Amazon. And there's an excerpt in the book. You can see the cover of the book. There is a description of the book, and you can buy it right there on that page. Now, Erica, I know that on your website you have some additional information where the listener, if they don't want to buy from Amazon, they could buy from somewhere else. Let's give them that website.
Yes. So it's a simple one. It's www.chasingradiance.com.
And it's beautiful.
Yeah, there's a page that opens to several links. I think you can even purchase through the publishing company, which is Balboa Press. Yeah.
Yeah. So they could either get it from Amazon or Balboa Press, and possibly I've heard authors say that someone could go into a bookstore and ask for the book and that they could order it directly from the publisher. So that might also be something that someone might want to do.
Yeah, I think so.
Now, I have to plug one of your other websites because you have 3, and I do my homework. And so I was looking around, learning about you, and I went to the www.ericasarzin-Borrillo, all lowercase, no spaces.com. There was the most marvelous paintings and the most beautiful jewelry, and I was absolutely blown away by your talent, and I wanted to put that in there so that our listeners would really understand what an artistic and talented individual you really are, because your work is just extraordinary. It's just beautiful.
Oh, it means the world to me to hear you say that. I really appreciate it.
Well, if it were not true, I would not say something. But it's just, I think that if they get the book, they should also take a look at your artwork, because I think that would give them a little insight into you and into your talent and into your ability. You're into and have experienced so many things. It's just the book gives an overview of one part of you, but this would give them an opportunity to see another part of you.
Thank you. Thank you. You know, it occurs to me we might also state the name of my artist's Facebook page.
Sure.
Which has a funny name. It's a funny name. But this is me. It's called Wild Woman Arts. That's my artist's Facebook page.
I love it.
And actually, there's a lot more of my art on that page than my website at this point. I really need to revamp it. But Suzanne, I really appreciate your saying this. It means the world to me.
I just think it's important because I think it lets people see sides of you that they would not see just looking at the book. And I have one more kind of a thought question for you, Erica.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
When people go from being listeners to being readers and they buy a copy of Chasing Radiance and they read the book and they read it from cover to cover and they finish, they come to that moment where they either electronically or physically close the back cover for the final time. What do you really want the reader to take away from Chasing Radiance?
Oh, okay. Well, you're making me tear up here, to tell you the truth.
I'm sorry.
No, in a good way, because what I really do want the reader to take away is the light, and hope, no matter what is going on. I'm going to read the last words, the very, very last words. And I want you to know that I open and I close with the words of the goddess. Okay, that's an inner character and outer character, but the goddess closes the book with a few words. She says, "Dream on," said the goddess to the traveling fool. "Dream on and envision the world anew, once more and once more and once more." It is really hope that I want my reader to walk away with, because these times are hard.
Yes.
But, you know, as long as we're alive, it really is up to us to be alchemists for our own psychic health and emotional health, but also for the world. And we have to keep dreaming, fiercely dreaming. So, you know, I mean, really, aside from my personal pivotal stories and how I got through them and overcame them, this book really is for you. It's for the reader. It's to help out in my own small way. But that really is about inspiring people to remain alive as can be, in the face of these challenging moments.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for sharing your wonderful personal insights and your personal story and how you overcame the inspiration that you have given us in the book. And you're right. We are in a place where we all need those kinds of things right now. It's been such a pleasure to have you as my guest today on Books on Air. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you. I really enjoyed speaking with you.
It's fun. We could talk for a very long time, Erica. I know.
I think so.
Now remember,
absolutely.
Absolutely.
Now remember, listeners, you can find Erica's book, Chasing Radiance.